everyone, welcome to my channel. It's me, Mish, the Dorky Reader, and today's video is my June TBR. And what happens in June? Do we all know? I don't know if we all know, but it is Pride Month! Yay! Happy Pride, everybody! And in honor of Pride Month, this month I'm doing something a little different. I won't be using my TBR jar. Instead, I'm gonna go hunting for a book for every single color on this flag, and I really hope I got the right flag. Please don't hate me if I got the wrong one. This is the one that I think I have most recently in my memory as being correct, but I could be wrong. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm excited. That gives us a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 books for the month of June, and I haven't done any pre-planning. So let's just start at the top. Let's find ourselves a good red book to read, and I'll be right back. These red books. Okay, the first on my list is The Shadow Throne. This is book 3, which would be a continuation of a series for me of The Ascendants, I believe, and it's Jennifer A. Nielsen. It's a middle grade, so it's very easy to read, and it's one I've been really wanting to knock off my list. Then I have Murder on the Orient Express. Now, I have not read any Agatha Christie books. I'm not sure if this is the one I need to start on, but skimming through it, it looks really readable. Like, the font is nice, it's not too long, it just kind of gives this accessible feeling, especially for someone who's nervous to get into classic murder mystery books, because I've never really done that. It does feel like the right starting point. Then I have The Wrath and the Dawn, which is an older kind of romantasy book, and it was really popular a long time ago, and I just never got around to reading it back then. So I've had this on my shelves for quite a while, and I'm curious to see if I would like it. I believe it's classic kind of enemies to lovers situation. Then I have The Dagger and the Flame. This is also a romantasy, and I believe it's kind of like two thieves or something and whatever. I'm not exactly sure. All I know is I love the cover. I've read, I think, the first line or so, and it was interesting. Or was it not that? What was the one I read that had that really cool first line? Yeah, it wasn't this one, I don't think. But anyway, it does look good. I want to give it a go. We'll see how it goes. Then I have Dreadful, which is embarrassing to me because I've had this on my TBR a few times and never chosen it. So if I put it on my TBR, I feel really obligated to read it. But I'm not sure if that's what I want right now. Even though when I started it, it was really funny and really good. I don't know, go figure. My brain is just the way it is. Another option I have, but I think it's more black than red, so I don't know if I can count it, is The Poet Empress. I really want to read this. I've heard really great things about this book, and it's not a romantasy, it's a fantasy with really dark kind of features, and it just sounds really good and intriguing. So I want to read this one, but I don't think I can count it this month because it is mostly black. So maybe for the black choice, unless there's something else. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, then there is The Night Ends with Fire. This is by KX Song, and this is a Mulong retelling. Though looking at this light, it does look a little more orange than red, but the side is very red. I don't know. Maybe not this one either. And the last one I have here is called The Nightblood Prince, and this is a love triangle situation, it looks like, and an Asian-inspired fantasy, and I believe is it a standalone, or is this going to be a part of a series? Let me look that up real quick, and then I will tell you. So The Nightblood Prince is actually book 1 in a series, so it is part of a new series, and I'm not sure if I'm going to start one or not. I mean, maybe. It does look good, and the cover is really pretty. Okay, of these books that I have in front of me, the ones that stand out most are The Shadow Throne, which would, I don't know if it's not a trilogy per se, but I believe like the first part of the story ends after the first 3 books. I could be wrong. So it might feel like it ties up some loose ends. If not, I could be wrong, then it's just continuing the series for me, which is also good. And the other option I think I'm leaning towards is The Nightblood Prince, just because I really love this kind of fantasy. So, of the two, I think I'm gonna go with The Shadow Throne. I wanna knock off some more series from my list because I've started so many that I feel really overwhelmed. I don't know if anyone else is in that same boat, but there's gotta be at least like 20, 30 different series I'm in the middle of, it feels like. And if I don't continue them, I'll never finish them. Okay, so the first part of our flag is done, and the next color is orange. So wish me luck, and I'll be back with some orange options. Okay, I'm back, and I have with me 3 options that are orange. One of them, no, 2 of them are strong contenders to make me cry, and I'm not sure if I want that feeling or not, but I am interested in reading both of these. So the first one I'm just gonna pull out is The Correspondent. I didn't get around to reading this last month, and I've heard really great things about this book, like about an older woman who still can change, still can grow, and you experience her life through these letters, and you see her development in a really touching way, and supposedly it's a really great book. So I do really want to read this, and it does look like it's gonna probably make me cry. The other one that'll make me cry, and I feel really guilty, I never read I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings, and so I have Maya Angelou's pretty much her magnum opus, isn't it? And I would love to read this book, but oh my god, is it gonna like break me? Maybe. So I have I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings here, and then the third option is a really fun option, but it's huge. It's like, I think, the biggest book in this series, and that is The Eye of the Bedlam Bride by Matt Didman. This is book 6 in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, and yeah, I do really want to read this, but oh my gosh, this one is easily his biggest one. But I am trying to move through my series, so putting this on the list gives me the opportunity to maybe choose it and then progress further. So I'm gonna go with the 6th book in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, The Eye of the Bedlam Bride. This is a really big book. Looking at it on my shelf, I was always like just dreading getting to this number, and here I am on the 6th one, so yay. Okay, so that's orange. Next we have, of course, yellow. So let me find some yellow books. All right, so I have 4 books with me that are yellow. I had to dig around my shelves to find them, but I did find them. One of them is This Woven Kingdom by Tahera Mafi, and I believe this is a romance involving like genies maybe, or jinn, and I'm not exactly sure, like a girl kind of hiding the fact that she has some kind of magic, and you know, the typical tropey stuff, but like the author herself does a really good job with enemies to lovers, one of my favorite kind of romance tropes, of course. And I think that this one is supposed to be pretty good. This series is beloved by a lot of people, so this is a contender. Then I have Georgie All Along, and this book is kind of like a romance. I believe there's some comedy involved, and I believe it's a lot about like getting in touch with what you wanted, your dreams, your desires, and how like this girl, she kind of had put all of her wants and needs aside to do what was right or whatever, or do what was expected of her. And so she's going back to her hometown because of like a loss of a job, or she quit her job, I'm not exactly sure. And she just kind of reconnects, and she kind of finds out what she wants, what her life could have been. And I think it's supposed to be touching, but also funny. I could be wrong. Then I have John Steinbeck, Of Mice and Men. This is a reread for me. I haven't read it in many, many years. And it's really tiny, which is really convenient. But I wanted to reconnect and reread this one because it's been so long I've forgotten a lot of the story. I remember it moving me and being very sad, and I kind of know what it's about. But I would like to reread this one for sure. And then I have another one, Chain Gang All-Stars. And I feel like this one, dealing with privatized prisons in this weird dystopian world, the prisoners are kind of made to perform or fight for profit making for these prisons, or Americans, I'm not exactly sure. Basically, it feels a little too close to home, like I could see that happening, and that's really scary. Okay, so I'm gonna choose between these 2 books, Both are gonna make me probably cry. This is one I haven't read and this is one I have. However, the size of this book, considering I have 11 books on this TBR, is probably where I'm going. So I'm gonna choose John Steinbeck of Mice and Men, and I think that's where I need to be. Okay, so next we have green. And so I'll come back with some green options. Okay, I'm back and I have, how many? 5 green books to choose from, and I am really like, there are a couple in here that I really want to read. I want to read both of, like 2 of them. I'm just going to pull up the 2 that I most want to read, but I'll real quick show the other ones. There's Hollow Kingdom, which also sounds funny and great, but I didn't want to read it right now. Strange Pictures by Uketsu. This also sounds really good. It's gonna be kind of like a horror mystery thing, and you solve things with pictures they have in the book, which sounds really cool. Then I have All Quiet on the Western Front, another classic. But since I'm reading Of Mice and Men, I didn't think I wanted 2 classics on there. But this does sound really good, because I remember watching the movie when I was very, very young and really like thinking, wow, that's a powerful movie. So imagine the book would be even better. The 2 that I most want to read are The Poison Song by Jen Williams, which is chunky, and I already have Eye of the Bedlam Bride on there. And I have a new book that I have, The Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon. And this is kind of like Bridgerton, Pride and Prejudice style, like era, you know, Regency. And it's, I think, written as journal entries. And I believe this character, Emma M. Lyon, has lots of love interests to choose from. I'm not exactly sure. Someone was really hyping it up on BookTube for me, and so it's a short little book, and it's green, and honestly, I think I'm going to lean towards this. So I guess my green choice will be Emma M. Lyon, or The Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon, Volume 1 by Beth Brower. Yay! I'm excited to read it. I am a little bummed because I really do want to get around to reading this one. It would finish the series for me, but it's really dense, and I already have a really dense book on there already, so one big giant dense book might be just enough for me for this month. So we'll put that to the side, and maybe next month. Okay. So the next color on my thing is blue, and there's so many blue books in my library. Whenever I have like my books mostly sorted by color on the shelves, and the blue section is huge, huge. Luckily though, as you can see, there's this light, kind of like a light blue or a light aqua. So I'll kind of get 2 blues. I mean, I'll just choose one of the blues that's a lighter color and then a darker color. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Okay, I'll be right back and I'll find 2 blue books. Okay, so I'm spoiled for choice. There are way too many books that are blue. I'm just gonna real quick go over them with their names, but not like their details, because there's too many. I have Renegades by Marissa Meyer, and this is a dystopian kind of superhero one. Then I have Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. I believe this is Enemies to Lovers. Then I have another by Laini Taylor, Strange the Dreamer, so I don't know which one of these 2 I should read first if I read one of them. Then I have Stolen Midnights by Catherine Quinn, one of my Book of the Month options. Another Book of the Month option is Seek the Traitor's Son by Veronica Roth. And I believe this one's like 2 leaders of countries destined to kill each other at some point, or lead over the other, or I don't even know. Then I have The Book Jumper by Mithilde Glaser, and that looks really good. A girl who can jump through books, who doesn't want to do that. I have The Lies of Locke Lamora, which is supposed to be fantastic and probably is going to be right up my alley because I love rascally, kind of deviant characters like this, and I hear he's like very gray. And then I have Bound to Fall, which I've had on my TBR several times, and I love A.K. Catiano, so I really want to get around to reading this one too. So of these books, oh my god, I am most drawn to Okay, I'm gonna weed out rather. I'm not gonna choose Eleni Taylor till I research a little more and figure out which one of these two I should read first. So that'll knock off those two. And this one does sound good, but I don't think it's as good sounding as some of the other ones for me personally. So I'm gonna put that over there. Lies of Locke Lamora is dense. And so I'm gonna put the densest book down. And so now I have 4 left. I have a Marissa Meyer book. I really want to read it. This is one of them. Stolen Midnights also sounded really good when I read the synopsis. 3 Fates, 2 Hearts, 1 Destiny. And I believe there's some kind of like magical enchanted item that is taken away or something. I don't know. It's kind of like exactly what I like. And then I have Bound to Fall. I do also want to read the Book Jumper. I want to read all of these. Oh my God. I'm so spoiled for choice. Really, I am. Okay, I'm gonna just grab this one. I'm gonna read Stolen Midnights by Catherine Quinn. Hopefully it's good. I feel like this has the potential to be the kind of romantasy that I like. Fingers crossed, because I really, really, really want to read a new fantasy series that is romantic, that catches my eye. Because sometimes they're too cringy for me, and sometimes they're just right. So I'll put that one down. That is my blue choice. It's a pretty dark blue, but I think it still counts. Okay, the next color is purple, which happens to be one of my daughter's favorite colors. It used to be my other daughter's favorite color, but I think she's gravitated more towards like blues, blacks, purples, like all together. But the other daughter still really likes purple and orange. So I'm gonna go with some purple books and I'll be right back. All right, I've got with me 5 books that are purple. One I know I will love, however, it is way too big for me to read alongside The Eye of the Bedlam Bride, so I'll be putting down The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson for this month. The other is Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is a sci-fi, which is one of my favorite genres. But I did just read an Amy Kaufman last month, so I don't know if I want to carry over and read another one this month. However, this one is paired with Jay Kristoff, and I think the two together are better than her alone. So that is an option. I have The Last Tiger, which is kind of like a Korean, I'm not sure if it's a fairy tale or if it's just a historical fiction. I have to look closer at that. But I do know that they're on opposing sides. Like one is from the lower class and one is from the nobility, but kind of wanting to reach out and make a change. There's something about tigers being hunted. I'm not exactly sure, so that's where that one stands. Then I have Modern Divination. This one features a witch who's hiding the fact that she has magical powers and while she's at school. However, someone is hunting witches and so she needs help from probably her curmudgeon-y classmate who's also a witch. And I think there's some kind of romance there. So that's Modern Divination. Also, this is one of my favorite covers. I just really think it's beautiful. And I remember underneath the dust jacket, like the hardback itself is really beautiful. There's really pretty pages in it too. So anyway, that's one option. And then I have a Luriel book, To Cage a Wild Bird by Brooke Fast. I know that this one was really popular on BookTube not too long ago because, you know, everyone's getting their new Luriel books and they're really excited about them. I think this one's probably a little spicy, but it does take place, I think, in a prison and it's dystopian and I love dystopian books, so that is also an option. I think looking at these books, the two I'm most excited about are Aurora Rising, which I had on my TBR before and not chosen, which makes me mad, and also To Cage a Wild Bird. I don't know why, it just sounds like the right time to read this, so that is an option. Though I think if I'm looking at these, yeah, I think Aurora Rising might be more up my alley. I love a sci-fi, I really do. I can't help it. I was raised on Star Trek. So that is my purple choice. So the next color on this is black. And this is, of course, every book person knows they have the most selections that are this color on their carts or in their shelves. black is a very popular color for book covers. So I will do my best to bring it to just a few to choose from. So wish me luck. Okay, so I am back, and with me I have 6 books to choose from. Oh, there's so many. I didn't even go look on my shelves, and there's probably one back there that I was like, I better read that next month, and I never chose it. But okay, so I have The Road of Bones by Demi Winters. And this book, it's hard to tell because there is some blue in the center. It almost makes it look like a blue cover, but it is predominantly black. This is a Viking-inspired romantasy. It has a love triangle, and I've heard really good things about it. Then I have Anathema, which is a dark romantasy, but I've heard good things about this one as well. It is a chunk though, jeez. So I'm not sure if this is the month for the chunks. I have Flame in the Mist by Renee Ahdieh. I hope I pronounced that right. I probably didn't. Maybe Ahdieh. I could be wrong. Anyway, this one is, I believe, Japanese inspired. Yeah, Mariko and Kenshin. Yeah, those are all like very Japanese names. So this is definitely some kind of Japanese inspired fantasy, which I really love. And since I'm studying Japanese right now, I find that kind of stuff super interesting. And I don't think I have a single Asian inspired fantasy on my list, which is crazy. Then I have Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. This is also pretty beastie. It's not too bad. It's the first one in her series, and I know it's not the biggest. I've been really wanting to get into this series because I know that for people who love fantasy, like me, this is considered one of these staples, like the best or top tier kind of fantasies you should be reading is Robin Hobb. And so I am very excited to start this series. But again, starting a series is daunting at times when you have so many on your list. Okay, I also have Paladin's Grace by T. Kingfisher. I love T. Kingfisher books. I've never given her a 5-star though, oddly enough. She's always like a 4 or 4.5, but I always have a really good time reading them. I always appreciate and love that the characters aren't young and stupid. They're usually bumbling or very relatable for me and middle-aged. And I think the romances are always done very classily. Like, classily, is that even a word? They're classy. Anyway, I like it. So Paladin's Grace is an option for me. And then the other option is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I've been really wanting to read this and I always brush it off. But I feel like all the descriptions of it kind of sound like something that would be top tier for me for romance. So I'm going to not do the big 3 chunky ones, even though they all sound fantastic. And I'm gonna instead focus on one of these 3. I'm a little hesitant to like weed one out though, because they could all be just so good. I'm just really shocked I don't have a single Asian fantasy on my list so far, and we're getting near the end of the color spectrum. So I don't know what that says about me. So maybe what I should do is put Flame in the Mist in there, and then I know I'll have at least one. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna choose Flame in the Mist as my black cover. I've had it for a while too, so it'll be nice to kind of get around to actually reading it. Okay, so that was the black one, and the next color on our flag is brown. It's wedged in there. So let's get some books. Okay, so I have some books with me. The first one is actually like a big, like, you know, it's got 3 books in one. So I wouldn't be finishing this entire tome. It's not as daunting as it looks. And that is Chronicles of the Black Company. And the first book is The Black Company by Glenn Cook. And this is one of those kind of epic, fighty, fantasy things. And I just love that kind of stuff. Then I have The Scorpion Queen, and this one involves a girl protecting another girl, which is very cool. I don't believe this is a sapphic, though I could be wrong, but I do know that there's a sisterhood kind of involved in it. Like this one girl and the princess kind of have a strong connection, and I think there's something involved where she helps her escape or something. I'm not exactly sure. I could be butchering it. I need to read the synopsis. I know. But anyway, that's one option. And then I have, where did I put that stack of books? Oh, there they are. I have Mark Lawrence, The Book That Wouldn't Burn, and this involves a magical library. Oh, and this one is kind of like, I want to say it's like a library that has like everyone's life in it, or it's like some kind of really, really magical, mystical, whatever library. But anyway, this book is too chunky. I'm not going to read it this month, so I'm going to put it aside right now. The other option I have is Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey. And I know that this book has obviously won a Lolly, and it's considered a really good book. And I do want to read it, but I already have like one, maybe two books that aren't magical. And I tend to go for magic, fantasy, sci-fi stuff over realistic fiction, so I'm gonna skip on it this month because I already have two in there that aren't very magic-y. One's historical, so. But anyway, and so of these two books here, because these are the two I think I'm leaning towards, I think I'm gonna go with The Scorpion Queen. I think she's gorgeous, and I want to read this story. It's also kind of, it's not too long, which will help me, I think, on this giant stack. Okay, the next color is like blue or aqua or something, whatever you would call that. And so I'm gonna do my best and find a book that fits that color. All right, so I have 3 books here. I'm getting lazy because this video is so long. But I did grab 3 from my cart that are options. One, it's a little too dark really to be the same, but maybe it's similar. It's Remarkably Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt. I know this has been recently made into some kind of Netflix film, and a lot of people really love this story. Again, though, it's not fantasy enough, I think, for me. Though I guess none of these, oh, one of these is. Okay, but let me go through them all anyway. Then there's From Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata, the Queen of the Slow Burn. This is a sport romance involving a figure skater and a hockey player. Is that what this is about? All I know is she's the Queen of Slow Burn, and I really do like that. I like when the pacing is super slow between the two love interests. So this is an option. It's a bit thicker than I'm hoping for, but it's an option. And then the last one is This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me. And honestly, I think this is the one I'm gonna choose. It's a girl who has found herself one day woken into her favorite book series of all time. And as she's there, she is trying to, one, not get herself killed, but also not change the plot too much, because that kind of gives away her advantage on how she can save her favorite characters or save herself in this world, which is not a pretty world. Like, it's supposedly kind of like violence. So we'll see. It sounds really interesting, and I think that this is a top contender for me for what I'm actually going to read this month. I'm very interested in this one. Okay, so we're down to the last 2 colors. We've got pink next, and let me go do that. I'll find a pink book to put on the card. All right, so I've got 6 pink books with me. I have a dystopian called Severance by Ling Ma, and it's supposed to be really funny. Then I have Canon, which is supposed to be kind of like, is it like the Odyssey? It's supposed to be very strange. I know that there are non-binary characters and things which would fit in with the Pride Month theme, but that doesn't mean I can't read it any other month of the year either, because I could. And it's supposed to be kind of weird and in an interesting format, so that is also option. Look at this cover. Whoever designed this is brilliant. It's so pretty. It looks like some kind of old like travel poster or something. Then I have The Blonde Identity by Allie Carter. I have The Vanishing Cherry Blossom Bookshop, which is a tiny little book. One of those magical bookshop, coffee shop things that are very popular theme in literature in Japan right now for some reason. But it is a translated work. And then I have The Wicked Sea, which involves mermaids. And then I have Soulfire by Samantha Nell. And this is a lovely cover. Okay, so I'm gonna choose between Severance by Ling Ma or Canon by Paige Lewis. And honestly, both sound really good. This one is smaller, which is very tempting. But this one I feel like does fit the month a little bit more with the non-binary character and such. And I like the formatting, like the pages are kind of, the chapters are small. They're like little tiny clips of things. I don't know, it's very interesting looking. And so I think I'm gonna go with Canon by Paige Lewis. Okay, that's my pink option. And the last color is white. And I will go see what I can find in the white books. Okay, so here I am. I found my white books to choose from. One being Red Riding Hood, a fairy tale retelling. Who doesn't love that? Then I have The Splendid City, in which a witch turns her dangerous roommate into a cat, or her serial killer roommate. I don't know what he is. He's some kind of villainous character, and she turns him into a cat. And as you can see on the cover, he's holding a little pistol. He's kind of evil. So this one could be really fun. And then I have Rain and Ruin by J.D. Evans, and a booktuber I really love highly recommends this as a romantasy that she actually loves. And she's kind of like me, where she doesn't like a lot of the things in modern romantasies, but this one was good, so that's really promising. And then I have Hyo the Hellmaker by Mina Ikemoto-gosh. And this one sounds really cool, and there's pictures, and it's exciting, and I just really want to read this. But I have to pick between Hyo the Hellmaker and Rain and Ruin, and I don't know. I don't know which one I want to read, because they all sound so good. Honestly, it's these two. The other two sound good too, but right now I want to read this. I've been wanting to read this for quite a while because of her recommendation. And it's not as big looking, even though it's like 390 something pages. This one is like 500 something. However, there are photos. It's kind of like, not photos, drawings and stuff throughout. So not all of the pages are full. So maybe it's similar in page length. And there's some weird stuff going on, and I'm really curious about it. But I think I'm gonna go with this time Rain and Ruin by J.D. Evans. I don't know why. Maybe I'll regret it later, but this is the one I think it's calling to me most. So let me get this set up because I am surrounded by books right now. You cannot see my floor. My floor is covered. So once I've scooched them to the side, I'll do my little stack hold, and that'll be that. My cat's meowing. I can't turn on the camera, but I'm going to anyway. All right, here is my stack. It is huge. Look at the size of this thing. I can't even get it all in a screen. Oh my God, they're all gonna fall. Ah! Okay, so let me just go over them one more time to kind of show everyone what I got for the month of June. So for a red book, I have The Shadow Throne by Jennifer A. Nielsen. For orange, I have The Bedlam Bride by Matt Dinneman. For yellow, I have John Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men. For green, I have The Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon. Then for blue, I have Stolen Midnights by Catherine Quinn. For purple, I have Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. For black, I have Flame in the Mist by Renee Adia. Oh God, just pretend like I said it right. And then for brown, I have The Scorpion Queen by Mina Fears. Let me get my face up there so it can focus on it. Then I have, for kind of a lighter blue color, This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me by Ilona Andrews. For pink, I have Canon by Paige Lewis. I know that it's not completely pink, but there's like a lot of pink, and the spine is pink. I don't know if that counts. I think it does. And then for white, I have Rain and Ruin by J.D. Evans. So anyway, I hope you have a wonderful Pride. I hope you're safe, loved, and that you have all your needs met. I know the world is crazy, but I still think that the majority of people aren't horrible. Just a big chunk of them are. Maybe that doesn't help. But anyway, I love you, and I think that you guys are all great, all three of you. And I can't wait to see you next month and tell you about the books I read in May, which were awesome. At least one of them was really awesome. Okay, anyway, you have a good day. Bye!